WPA calls for broad consultations ahead of 2025 national budget. News source Guyana. The Working People's Alliance, WPA, has voiced concerns regarding the upcoming national budget, questioning whether it will address the genuine needs of the Guyanese populace or primarily serve to maintain the People's Progressive Party, PPP, in power. WPA executive member and co-leader Dr. David Hines criticized the government for its apparent lack of broad-based consultations in the budget preparation process. The absence of comprehensive input raises doubts about the government's commitment to addressing the needs of the people, Dr. Hines stated. He challenged claims made by Vice President Jagdeo about community consultations, asking, when were these consultations held, and with which communities? Were they publicly announced? Which government agencies facilitated these discussions? Were opposition parties or civil society organizations, particularly trade unions, included in these consultations? Dr. Hines emphasized that budgets should reflect the country's needs, priorities, and broader economic vision. Given the current socio-political landscape and the government's narrow majority, he argued that inclusive consultation is crucial. While the WPA has not yet reviewed the proposed budget, Dr. Hines highlighted areas of concern, particularly the government's emphasis on infrastructural spending in previous budgets. While we welcome investment in infrastructure, we believe the government has overemphasized this area. A more balanced spending approach is needed, reflecting diverse priorities and an integrated economic outlook, he remarked. Dr. Hines called for a redistribution of resources across critical sectors, stressing that poverty alleviation should be a primary focus of the budget. After each budget, we have criticized the government's inconsistent approach to poverty reduction. For our country to advance, we must eliminate systemic obstacles to development, with poverty being a significant barrier. The government's reliance on unstructured cash grants and clientelism risks deepening persistent poverty, he added. Additionally, the WPA plans to closely monitor how the government addresses wages and salaries, advocating for a minimum wage of no less than $200,000. The WPA remains committed to ensuring that the voices of all Guyanese are heard in the budgetary process and will continue to advocate for a fair and equitable allocation of resources.